Hello again, and welcome back to the randomness of this channel. So, in the whole banner of my good old YouTube thing, you see some skaven. So I thought, I don't think I've painted them yet, so let's actually paint some skaven. But not some normal skaven. We are going to be painting up this lovely fellow, as you can see, as Master Splinter. Because why not? So I might as well run a series where we just take rats and paint them up as different rats to please the rat gods of rats. So yeah, let's get into it. So we're gonna paint over the stuff I've already done. So I've done a few things to this. The first one was all the rats are painted, like their fur and that is painted rat and grime. So you want to do that first. And the tail, can't remember, not for the life of me. But if I do remember, I'll stick it in as a YouTube short on the channel and I'll link it to this if I ever find out how to do it. But we're first going to take carrot stone, and you're going to use this as kind of like a weird dry brush over the rat and grime fur to make it look a bit more like Master Splinter. As well as if you look in the top right, you'll see what our reference picture is. There is a few other references in here, and if you can get them all, fair play to you. I can't say you're going to win a prize, but you'll earn the respect of Ninja Turtle fans everywhere. So yeah, just take carrot stone and stick it over every bit of like skin fur that you see. So we're now going to tackle our little rat's gums, right? So we're going to take Imperial Fist yellow, there we go, remembered. And we're going to apply this over literally basically everything cloth. That's not on the book on his back, and then the bits that are like near his neck. So it's essentially just going to be everything else. Just one coat is needed because it's a contrast paint, so it applies quite well. We're then going to take Agrox Earthshade, and you're going to apply this over all the yellow, mainly just to darken it and make it feel one more like Warhammer, and two because I mean Master Splinter lives in the sewers. There's no way he's going to have clean arms just lying about. As well as, do not do what I had done before this, which is put your highlights in before you darken it down, because I put my highlights in, darkened it down, and then realised that I couldn't see my highlights, which is kind of obvious. So if you're going to do your highlights, just save them for afterwards. We're then going to take a black of your choice, and you're going to put this onto the little black kind of over bit that he has over like his neck and then around his back, because that's supposed to like signify the jacket that Master Splinter would have. We're then gonna add a bit of differentiation on your old cloak. Instead of it just being one black kind of blob, we're then gonna take some Skaven Blight fur, I think. Let me have a gander. Yep, no, Skaven Blight Dinge, sorry. Yes, we're gonna take Skaven Blight Dinge, and you're gonna apply this over all the raised seams on the black scroll. We are now going to paint the armor in a miniature. There is only a little bit, and also I just clocked you could not understand a single word I said there, but we're going to be painting the armor. There we go. There's not a lot of it, but we still got to paint it. So we're going to take dryad bark, and you're going to apply this over the armor, because we're going for like a traditional feudal Japan armor, like a brown armor, because we're using brown. So yeah. You're then going to take Tooth and Coat's Dragon's Gold, and you're going to put this on all the kind of dots on where we've just done the brown armour. Now, I would have recorded this, but for the life of me, could not find the right angle. So instead of getting blur, 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 instead you have finished product. We're then going to take Vallejo's Gunmetal, and you're going to basically just put this over the armor that we done to kind of make it so it's chipped and it's damaged. We will be coming back to using gunmetal in a moment though, so just keep that in mind, but we want it to look worn. We're now going to paint the Skaven's horns. Now this is just a Skaven thing. Last time I checked, I don't believe my Splinter has horns, but he could in some depiction of him. So we're gonna take Screaming Skull, and you're gonna apply this basically just onto all the horns. Just get it everywhere. I know it looks a bit bright, but we're gonna darken it down in just a second. We are then gonna take Skeleton Horde, and you're gonna put this over literally everything you just painted. Get it all in there because it's gonna darken it and make it look like bone. As well as I can't find the clip of it, but I swear I recorded it. I'll probably find it after I've recorded this. But you're also gonna want to take an Agrox Earthshade as well and just throw it over the top of it after it's dried, like 85%, I would say, to really darken it because I found it was a bit too bright. We're now going to tackle the scroll and the rope on the model. So we're going to take Xandri dust and you're just going to paint this over basically all of it. Try and be careful around the areas we have painted, but if you accidentally go over or maybe just catch it a little bit, it's all good. You can always go back over with the same colours and just cover it. It's all good. We're then going to take Xandri dust again as well as Ushapti bone. And you're going to mix this in a roughly 50-50 mix, depending on how bright you want, more bright you want it, sorry. And only do this on the, well, I forgot what they're called, ropes. Only do it on the ropes, because the scroll we're going to do a completely different way. And by that, I mean we're just going to skip a colour, basically. But yeah, only put this on the ropes where the sun kind of hits it the most. So for the final step for the scrolls and the ropes, we're going to take Seraphim Scepter. And we're going to put this basically just over the whole of the scroll as well as the ropes. It's mainly just to get the colour in the recesses and just make it pop a little bit more. Now for a small one, you're going to take, what is the colour called? Give me a second. Probably should have had this like pre-made or pre-done, but so we're going to take Caradras Green. And you're basically just going to put this on like the little emblem thing he has hanging down from his neck. It's supposed to, for my splinter, it's going to simulate the amulet he wears. It's now time for the book he has on his back, yes, because he's a master of knowledge and rat knowledge, because knowledge. So essentially, you're going to paint the little bits of cloth that you can see gold. There's a reason for that, and there is not a skaven reason, but a my splinter reason. And the rest of it, you're just going to paint Blood Angels red or any other dark red of your choice. I always go to Blood Angels red because I like the consistency of it. It's a nice red paint. So welcome to, I believe, the middle of the video, and watch me be off by about 1 to 2 minutes, but we're here anyway. So I don't know too much about Ninja Turtles, if I'm being honest. All I remember is the film that I'm basing my splinter off of, and then the old animated series that think was, I can't remember exactly what network it was on, but I believe it was either Cartoon Network or something. And I remember vividly just watching it, not vividly, but I remember watching it. So yeah, here is some lore, I guess, on Ninja Turtles. So I'm reading this off Google because I don't have too much of a clue, but now story time. So the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic book was actually released on May 5th in May 5th. Yeah, there you go. I did say it right. There you go. In 1984, which is just kind of mad. I thought, to be fair, I did think it would be a little bit earlier. When you think of years, would earlier be like? I thought it would be like 1960s or something like that. But yeah, honestly, earlier than I initially thought. But what I'm going to look up now is, I wonder if Master Splinter was in the first depiction of the Ninja Turtles. He was, yeah. Was first introduced in May of 1984 in the debut issue of Eastman and and I'm gonna butcher one of the creators' names here. Les Teenage Ninja Turtles. So he was in the very first one. That's actually really cool. I wonder how much the first Ninja Turtles comic book is going for. Should we have a look? First Ninja Turtles comic value. So the value for it, the going value, is that at my price range. So I was gonna think, do I get it and just see it? Yeah, it's definitely out of my it's definitely out of my price range by a decent margin. And if you want to know how much it is, go look it up. Nah, I'm gonna tell you. So raw is like 500 quid. So that's no packaging. It'll be a bit tattered and stuff like that. Very fine. Well, fine is 6 grand. Very fine is 10 to 11 grand. Near mint is 15 to 16 grand. Well, for people who don't know what I mean by grand, because don't know what my viewer audience is, £1,000. So I just gonna say grand. And then mint to near mint. So like if you've got like a pristine near mint, that's basically mint, but it's just off. We're talking 43 grand to 87 grand. Madness. That's a lot of money. And with that being said, there's your turtle knowledge for the day. Back to the painting. We're then gonna take white scar and you're gonna paint this in the seams where the paper is. And now if my arm wasn't blocking the flipping way right, you might actually be able to see it, but you get the gist of it. You're then going to paint over the white after it's dried with Seraphim Scepter again. I've lost the footage. Don't know where it's gone. It's either I didn't record it, but I swear I did. As well as I've got somewhat footage here, so it'll be here. Is all the leather you're gonna paint with Doomball Brown, and by leather I mean there's a strap on the scroll, and then where the book is, there's that little kind of belt thing where he has the skavan symbol. You're also just gonna paint that little bit of leather there. We're now gonna paint up the rest of the metal on the model. So we're gonna take gunmetal again from Vallejo. And you're going to start off first with his dagger, the ceremonial dagger, I'm going to call it, for the Skaven sensations. Sounds a bit weird, but we'll stick with it. As well as we're going to do the top of the Skaven staff, because, I don't know, I think it would be metal, because Skavens, they live underground, they probably get some kind of scrap metal to make their signs out of. Not a clue. And then the very last thing that we're going to paint metal is going to be the bell. So not the whole bell, but like the outer trim on the bell, as well as the bit where the wood is. We're then going to take a jump back to the weapons from the bell, and we're going to paint the handles of both weapons using speed paint pink alchemy, I believe. Sorry, purple alchemy. Yeah, it's not pink purple, even though it looks pink, but it's purple. But it's pink, but it's purple, but it looks pink. Purple alchemy. And yeah, the reason we're going to put it on here is there is a reason, and I'm just not going to say because it would kind of thingy it with something that I said earlier. Then we're going to do a quick 180 back to the face of the model because I forgot to paint his teeth. So you're just going to paint them with Screaming Skull. I didn't darken them, but if you do want to, just use either Agrox or the other paint I used. I can't remember the name of. Skeleton Horde. There you go. If you would like to darken the metal, which I would like to, you can use Null Oil, which is what I'm using here. But I think I actually would have used Agrox instead if I was to again because it's a lot darker and it matches sewers a bit better. Now this one's pretty cool. So we're going to take the green that we used for the amulet earlier, and you're going to put this over the symbols on the knife. Now originally my plan was, just paint it over the symbols, make it look like it's glowing because Skaven stuff, you know. But because it's a contrast, it's kind of watery, so it didn't stick onto the symbols. So I wiped it off my thumb, just wiped it up in a nut motion, thinking, okay, I'll start again, I'll get a different colour. and it actually came out looking like that, and it came out looking clean. So generally do it because it acts like it's glowing and it's seeping through the blade. So we're in the home stretch now. We're gonna take dark wood from the army paint and speed paint section, and we're gonna apply this over all the wood because the keys in the name of the paint. To be fair, this will only really need one coat. I found it came out pretty good, to be fair. As long as you don't apply it too heavy or too thin, like you need that nice middleman, it'll come out looking fine. So that'll be on the bit of the bell where the guy's standing as well as the guy's staff. So it's now time to tackle the bell. So we're gonna take, and I've actually got the paint in front of me now. We're going to take Vallejo's Brassy Brass and you're going to paint this all over the belt. One coat will only be needed because it is a very strong paint, and in my opinion, it is very good paint. So just get it all over there and it should come out looking spiffy. To paint the dirt on the base, we're going to take Vallejo Flat Earth. Well, okay, strange name for a paint, not going to lie. And we're going to apply this basically all over it. I'm gonna be honest, after I painted this on and done a few other things to it, I'm not too happy with how this bit came out. If I was gonna change it, I actually gonna be honest, I don't know how I would. I think I need to experiment a bit more in trying to make like a ground texture first before I try again. But the other part of the base did come out very well, which will come up after this. Now, for the final bit of the base, I used the green we used before, and as it was drying, I'll put it back up. I can't remember the name, but the colour will come back up. And I used Frost Heart Blue from Citadel as well. And as the green was drying, I would put the blue, not as it was drying, but as it was watery, I would dip the blue in and make it kind of seam in there so that it would all come together. And that's how I got that colour. But that is the final step, and now it's time for the reveal of said Master Splinter Skaven. So there he is. I think he came out alright, to be fair. Um, yeah, I think he does look like Master Splinter, and like I said, if you can get all the references, drop them down in the comments. Some of them I think are old, and some of them are probably more recent. I don't know when they came out. But with all that being said, first of all, before I say my goodbyes, it is boiling in the UK. I am swearing, but yeah, if you did enjoy the video, if you could like it, would mean a lot. And if you did like it, maybe consider subscribing as well. And with all that being said, hope you enjoy the rest of your day, night, or evening.